built. So here we are with episode 2 of the many sides of voice actor radio. Last episode we were introduced to our two main characters who are very much opposites of each other, and because of that they do not like one another. Although, you know, maybe they are alike in some ways, who knows? We'll just have to see what their next interactions are going to be in this episode. If you guys like the video, like the video. If you dislike it, dislike it. I do have my full length up on Patreon and early access in the YouTube memberships. Other than that, let us get started. It's like God, the way that her hair kind of just twists into each other. Ooh, curry. Is that plum in there? Or is that something, that other thing that I currently can't remember? Her mom is listening to her radio. How's my curry? Ah. Sorry, your mom's too busy listening to the radio. The butcher shop doesn't have croquettes. Don't they? I thought they did. In Japan anyways. Oh yeah, I don't think we've seen the opening. Oh, we've got... Well, they did show us 4 microphones. Oh, them actually doing... Yeah, I was thinking, like, if they're gonna do a little voice acting with each other eventually, at some point, would they showcase it? It's like, them being the character. But she wants this support! At least she's listening to it with earphones on and not blasting it out on the fucking speakers. Is she running a business? Taking advantage of important people. You gotta do what you gotta do! Do want to see you. Did you make curry and she made breakfast for you? I suppose they're cooking for each other. Oh, and then all the men in the family died. That had me in stitches. They're just fucking arguing about that. Oh, the 2v1. Because the meat is right there! Oh. Weirdly superior. Something so obscure. Alright, I don't even live in Japan and I have an idea. No, it isn't. It's fried food. Alright, you want to put it up to a poll? The entire room is against her. So it's not weird not to know. Oh shit! You clueless dork. Yo, the fucking roast. So the show isn't going well. Fan letters from your mom. I will say, the audience would probably love that shit. You guys going to the to the butcher shop? I need to make sure that these butcher shops are selling croquettes. Does that mean that she's a rich girl? Or she's just too busy not going? Actually, she doesn't go out. Because we said we would on the show. Do people know your real identity? Would they be on the lookout? I mean... Yo, that fucking shadow. That's why they're actually going to the croquette shops. Sorry, a butcher shop, not the croquette shop. Oh. Got a little sweet transition out here. What kind of croquette did you guys buy? I assume it's pork, just from the pig picture. I would assume it's fresh too. Oh yeah! If it was that fresh, I'd burn my tongue. Buy some more for dinner? Just that for dinner? No, I think she just meant the croquettes by itself. You gotta have your vegetables! And some vegetables! Damn, fucking really coming for her chest. Oh, your parents aren't home? What about your dad? Okay. Wow, look at these two living with single mothers. Single to mother. Oh, that they actually went to the, yeah. You don't have to show the face, but you show hands. There you go. Who are these triplets? Oh, her manager. 3 sisters under the purple sky. A leading role, huh? Otome-ne-san. Oh, that's the girl that, okay. Oh! Sag. Oh, understandable. Guess this was already weighing on you. Mm-hmm. Be on the same level as the other two. But we're voice acting! The connection, the... Understandable, but like, at the same time, you know? Connections! Connections, Sato! Swallow your pride when it comes to that. Exactly. Who gains the most? You're the underdog, who's also got the lead role. If you don't make it big now. Flaunting your youth. Wow. Alright. I mean, I suppose she's like an idol voice actress, and not just a regular voice actress. Oh, she's got bags under her eyes. But why? Sakura Namiki. Okay. Oh shit. Damn, they're starting off the recording with with a dramatic argument. The inception of this, where the actual voice actors have to like be here, standing, looking at that scene of them voice acting of another person in the anime. Oh shit, dude, she's busy and she's lacking sleep. That was some good acting. Did Yumiko do anything?
私にはそこまでできない。泣く演技だけじゃなくて、乙女姉さんみたいな演技も。私も久しぶりの大きな役で気合入ってたんだけどな。
You got a lot of proof. You got a lot to prove. Totally mid.
あなたのそういうところ、本当に嫌い。私はあなたの演技が良かったわねって言ったのよ。
But she's comparing herself to other people, and she doesn't have a lot of good success compared to other people around her. Well, guess who's gonna say it again later on? Shaky, shaky love. A heart tart? They're doing a character song in an anime where they have character songs? Working as an idol voice actress. Mmm. Do you like idol voice actress work? You kinda do? I mean, I get where, I still don't know what name to say to each other. Watanabe? Uh-oh, somebody's about to... Overworking out here, uh-oh. Oh, she's got a fever on her? Oh no. It's just a duo show. My fans out there are waiting. I mean, I don't think your fans want to see you fucking trip and faint on the stage. Oh shit. Oh shit, they're doing a duo show. You know what this reminds me of? IRUMA. Except, you know, probably less spectacles, but that's okay. Here she comes, casually walking out. I will say, there isn't a crowd like a Japanese crowd. Well, in the end, they still got some entertainment. We weren't good enough together. Oh shit, you want to outshine her? You know what this music is? This is a fucking commercial car music. I was about to get fucking advertised for a fucking Toyota or some shit. Actually, it might sound a little bit more like a Ford or a BMW type of... Does she have her, does she have a little doll right there of, Yuhi in her room? Oh yeah, the same goes for Yuhi's. She's got a little doll of Yasumi. Sorry, I'm switching up their names. Sato and Watanabe, is that what I'm gonna be calling them? Very cute, they're wearing one earring that's the same, but on opposite ears. Okay. What is this preview? Alright, we're gonna get right back to the center. Alright, so that was episode 2 of the many sides of voice actor radio. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. For me, I thought that this was a pretty good episode. I certainly enjoyed it a little bit more than the first episode, but as I mentioned in the last episode, right, the first is just really here to build the platform, and now that we're here, you know, we're sprouting out a little bit to fucking idol work. Because why not? They are idol voice actors and all that. The thing that I mentioned last episode about the music, I don't really have a big problem here other than towards the end with that music that just sounds like a car commercial. Typically when I have some issues with like the music, I usually just get over it after like an episode or two, and I'll just be like, okay, you know, that's just the sort of music that they're going to use, and that's totally fine, right? I'm usually just kind of caught a little bit off guard if they kind of have music that I feel like just doesn't really blend in with the show, or I just feel like it's a little bit loud, to which that's why a lot of the music is during this whole show. It's loud to the point where it's like slightly under the voices, which is fine, I suppose, but like when you got such fucking EDM beats that's just going on in the background, it really does sound like a party sometimes. But I didn't really have a problem with the music in this episode. I thought that it was nice. It was okay. It was fitting, and like especially some of like the haha moments, like when they were showcasing the radio show where Watanabe and Sato are talking to each other, and Sato just didn't realize that the butcher shop has croquettes and stuff, right? I think that fits for the sort of situation that they were in. Moving away from that, we've learned quite a few things in this episode. The first starting off with the fact that her mom is a single mother, and that Sato considered that her mom is a single mother who has to go and fucking work and, you know, provide for her and all that. She has learned to cook at a young age, and so here she is having the cooked curry, and her mom is just out here preparing said curry while listening to her daughter's radio show, which tells us that she's a very caring mother and that she is willing to support her daughter on whatever endeavors that she has. And I love that they showcase the prayer shrine. That I think that's somewhere around there. You know, my family has the same thing with my with our dead family members and all that. So, and not to say that I love that they're dead or anything, but I love that they showcase this. And with Sato telling us that her mother supports her in her life, and that, you know, anything could happen, right? Death has created a very big a big difference in philosophy, you know, has changed her mom's philosophy, there you go, in life, in the fact that we could go at any time, so like why bother having to focus on something that you don't want to do, right? If you've got some passion out there in the world, go out and fucking do it. I'm gonna support you on the way, and I really like that about her mom. Speaking of single mother, it appears that Watanabe is also, well, she has a single mother as well, but she's the opposite just in terms of cooking. Right now, we know that the both of them are opposites with one another, but once you actually start to sort out your differences, you start to realize that that you do have some sort of similarity with each other in terms of Watanabe and Sato, right? Despite them being very opposites, they share a similar background of having single mothers and having to cook their own food. But the difference is that Sato has, it seems like she has been learning to cook and everything, right? Maybe she's a bit of a jack of all trade, while Watanabe has too busy honing the craft of voice acting that she just doesn't really have an idea to cook, perhaps, because like the only thing that she thought about is, oh, I'm gonna buy more croquettes to bring home for dinner, and I'm gonna eat it with just rice, and that's it, you know, nothing like rice and and crispy meat. Which, you know, sounds great and all that, although I'm not really sure if you would need croquettes. I don't know if you really need, well, okay, croquettes are just meat in batter and like panko crumbs, somewhere around there, right? One of the methods to make it. Yeah, I suppose eating it with rice would be fine. Okay, so this is what Sato had thought about, right? Croquettes with shredded lettuce, some veggies on the side, some clam miso, some tofu, some ginger and wasabi, it looks like. I don't know what this is, but maybe it's udon and one of those, I know what they're like, fish cakes, probably, maybe, and then a hefty bowl of rice. You know, I never really thought of croquettes as something that's made for dinner. You know, I always thought about it as just a snack. But also, I find that I don't really like croquettes as much. Maybe I just haven't had, my conclusion is probably I just haven't had a good croquette. Probably. But Yeah, I really feel I don't really like the taste of croquettes as much. Maybe I like it for like half of it, and then afterwards I get like sick of it, so I can't eat one by myself. I have to share it with someone. In terms of the whole croquette situation, I like that during the radio talk show, Sato is obviously, flaunting a little bit and just telling, but then she also jokingly tell her in the radio saying like, oh, maybe we should go visit it after school, right? And she does that, never really thinking that Watanabe is going to take her up on that offer. But she ends up doing it anyways, because one of the things that she feels is that she, as we've learned in the previous episode, she feels like she's lying to her audience, that Yuhi Yugure is not the same person as Watanabe Chika. Right, these two people are not the same, and she feels like, she feels really bad for lying to her audience, so she wants to, at the very least, try to put in some truth. Which at that point, it'd just be half truths and lies. But you know what? She's putting in effort, I suppose, right? Putting in effort to not make this just some sort of lie, even though, it's still technically true that they're classmates. But like they don't really, they technically are hanging out. We see them a lot with each other. We see them, not the audience in the anime, but whatever. In the next scene, we see Sato with her manager, whose name I don't really know if they've said anything. Hold on. Okay, I don't think she actually said the manager's name. I also don't remember if they mentioned the manager's name in the last episode. They might have, but anyways, the manager tells Sato that she's got a role, and from what Sato says, it's like a one of the main roles. Well, it's one of the three sisters, so yeah, one of the leading roles. She's got the third sister. She's very excited about this whole thing until she hears the other two main casts being Yuhi Yugure and Otome Sakura Namiki. Want a name. She hears both of that name and she's just kind of like, okay, wait a minute. Did I get this role because I'm friends or I have connections with these people? Right? She feels like her talent isn't exactly being sought out. The only reason why she's being sought out is because she has connections with these people. Also doesn't help that her manager is over here like, yo, you're about to like close in on your 4th year of voice acting, and like if you can't get a fucking audience after 4 years, your gigs that's already kind of tanking is gonna tank even fucking further. So like that's a lot of pressure on Sato, who like really likes this job, or sorry, she kind of likes this job according to her. But she's just currently isn't being appreciated. And the only thing that they kind of talk to her about is like her look, right? The way that her manager goes in, it's just like, look, your looks, it's gonna knock these two ladies out of the parks. Somewhere around there, it's just kind of like, well, she's here for voice acting, and like when it comes to voice acting, your looks shouldn't matter, right? It should be your voice and how you are able to translate that into anime or into cartoon shows or into whatever you're dubbing. So with all that pressure on Sato, I totally get why she doesn't feel confident in her own talents, despite Yuhi later on acknowledging it. But at the same time, connections go a very long way, right? If you're able to make friends with certain people and they're able to get you to certain gigs, and especially if you have the talent to boot, right? If you're able to, people might be like, oh, she only got this role because she's friends with blah, blah, blah. But if you're able to exceed their expectation, because they're gonna have a low expectation of you at that point. But if you're able to exceed their expectation, and like, again, if you actually have talent and you're able to fulfill this role at a very good level, not decent, right? Not mid and all that, I think that it's good, right? Sometimes you just have to throw your pride away and understand that other people can fucking help you, especially when it comes to entertainment in the entertainment industry, and when it comes to industries like these, right? Even like as creators, if you know someone who has like a very big YouTube channel and like you start appearing on their channel, and then eventually you start splitting off and you start your own channel, or if you already had your own channel and you started hanging out with that person, it's gonna give you a good amount of boost, especially if you're on their channel a lot of the times, right? And it's like, it's that whole sort of connections, like, and like, that's why creators do collaborations, and you know, that's why you see other creators who start off like maybe a year or two ago and like they're skyrocketed all the way up, and then but then you find out that they're friends with certain other creators, and it's just kind of like, okay, that kind of makes sense, especially if those creators are helping their friends out as well. And I know that a lot of creators like to do that. They've got a lot of friends who may or may not want to be interested in this, and they're gonna support them because hopefully those people are actually good and kind people who just want to help their friends out. But you know, that's just how it is. If you've got connections, it's gonna give you a good amount of boost, but like everything else after that, it's going to be up to you and your talent and all that fucking jazz. And there are people with great talents who unfortunately are unable to shine because perhaps they lack skills in other departments like social skills or marketing stuff or whatever, right? They're really good at creating videos, but they just don't know how to market it, or they don't understand SEO. So like those people, you know, it's unfortunate. But that's where having connections can go a very long way. Remember kids, networking and connections can get you a long way, and in fact, it might even get you farther than a college degree. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. I know I mean, you can still do both. You can still go to college and make connections at said college. And then when you graduate, right, if you have these connections, anyways, I'm gonna stop talking about this. We're introduced to a new character named Otome Sakura Namiki, who is the most popular of the trio, and she has worked with Yuhi before or Watanabe before, anyways, she has worked with Watanabe before because they have been in many other gigs, but she is friends with Sato, so, you know, she's, maybe she's here to do a little balance on the group. Consider that they're now here to record the anime show about three sisters. So I would presume we're going to see a little bit more of her if we're gonna continue to see this, to which I would presume so, because like that's kind of what we're seeing in the anime, in the opening, but we'll just have to see. One of the first things that we notice, or the anime wants us to notice, as Sato points it out in afterwards, it's the fact that she's got eye bags under her, and she, when Sato asks her about it, she's just over here like, just lacking some sleep, that's all, you know, I'm fine. But like, why were you lacking sleep? You know, I'm a little nosy, so like I'd like to know, why are you lacking sleep? What the fuck's going on? What are you staying up late for? I wouldn't interrogate her like but we know that she is working hard because she's lacking sleep, or maybe she just has insomnia and, you know, something is causing her insomnia, so who knows. Sato was happy to see Otome, but once she hears that Otome also knows Watanabe because they've been doing a lot of gigs with each other, Sato starts to go back into that slump where she's just like, oh man, I'm just not good, right? I'm not especially compared to these two ladies, I'm not good as them. Otome, way too far ahead. She is like the big fucking idol out here. Watanabe, she is getting way more gigs than me, and she's just good. That's why she's, you know, I saw her at lunch. She was practicing her lines when she was out at school eating lunch, right? Instead of just enjoying and doing other normal kid stuff, she's out here honing the craft instead. So she feels inferior, which is understandable. And because Sato feels inferior, we don't even get to see her performance in all this whole time. And because Sato feels inferior, we didn't even get to see her performance until Watanabe brings it up. But here we have Sato, who's just so be like, oh man, I was so psyched, I get to have a leading role again, but here I am just giving out mid-deliveries and all that. And so when Watanabe hears that, she's just like, yeah, I really fucking hate that about you. These two are just hating each other's bad traits and habits. But I do like that we get to see Sato's performance through Watanabe's eyes, right? The moment she speaks, it's like a whole completely different character, and Watanabe was just surprised by that. And so she has to go and say, I say that your acting was good, right? Your acting was good. So I'm glad that Watanabe is able to just look through Sato's bullshit, right? Little inferiority complex shit and all that. And she's just like, yeah, no, fuck you. You're actually talented. And no, I'm not ever going to say that ever again, to which that means she will say it again. You can't say I'll never say this again, yeah? The anime is gonna force you to do it, Watanabe. You better be careful. If you hate somebody because you hate their bad traits, but then if they remove those bad traits, right, they learn to become a better person, and they don't have those bad traits anymore, do you still hate them? In the next scene, we have a performance event by the trio, because not only are they voice acting, they've also made their own little group, and they're singing the opening song of the anime, because, you know, that's just how it is nowadays. If you're a voice actor, you gotta at least know how to sing as well, you know? But here we have Watanabe, who says, I hate doing these type of events. I hate singing and dancing. This is not real voice acting, right? She's saying that idol voice acting is not it, you know? It's not real. Watanabe is out here, she's fighting for what voice acting used to be, until it became this. Idol voice acting, whatever this mumbo jumbo shit is. I do understand Watanabe's point, right? In the fact that if you're a voice actor, why do you have to sing and dance for these people, right? When the only thing that you should be focused on is the quality of their voice and how they're able to how they're able to articulate it in many different tones and cadence. Like how they're able to do that. Like the voice actor for Mitsuru, I don't even know what her face looked like. All right, but like she voices a lot of games and anime and all that. But like her voice sounds it's so distinct that anytime I hear her, I'm just like, oh, that's Mitsuru. I really fucking like her voice. But I don't know who the fuck I don't even know what she looks like. And sometimes I'd much prefer it that way. Even though I know that, you know, if you're a voice actor, maybe you would want facial recognition, especially if you go to like conventions and all that. I suppose, right? But for me, right, when I hear voices, like I'm really only thinking about the voices. I'm not really putting faces to voices, especially if they're playing characters, right? Moving away from the money aspect, right, with us being in 2024 now, we have many different ways for people to become voice actors or actors, right? You can do that through YouTube, and you can display your case there before you abandon YouTube and move on to Hollywood, you know, like some other people who've made that bad decision. But you could do that, or you could still stay at YouTube and be in Hollywood. I don't know if you're able to do both at the same time. Well, I mean, I guess there's some Hollywood people who do YouTube, but then again, they have like a whole crew for the whole YouTube. Anyways, when it comes to voice acting, there are many other alleyways for you to enter through it, right? One of the first ones is via YouTube, or a Vtuber, I suppose. God, okay, the whole idol voice actor thing is just making me think about Vtubers. Because, like, when it comes to, like, these Vtubers, especially if they're working in specific companies, like Hololive or something, right? One of the things that I feel is expected of them is that they're able to sing. I don't know, I just, like, maybe, like, that's cool, maybe that's what people want, but, like, you know, when I'm here trying to watch Vtubers, which I don't, I only have to watch them begrudgingly if I have nobody else to watch for certain games that I want to watch playthroughs of. If I'm here to watch them play games, why the fuck should I care about them singing? In fact, there's a YouTuber that I'm currently watching right now for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and like she sings during like the songs and like sometimes she'll even sing it over the dialogue, and it really grinds my fucking gear. I hate it when people fucking sing. I mean, I do that sometimes. I hum and all that, but like, I really fucking hate it when, when other. Well, I mean, it's not like she's humming. She's like literally, actually, like singing it and all that. Like, I don't like it. It's not my thing. Like, she definitely has a voice, but like, I don't want to hear you sing. One way or another, my tangents always end up back at VTubers. But yeah, I know voice actors and all that. It really feels like you're being put to do like 3 jobs at once. Cause like I feel like idol work is a lot. I feel like voice acting, especially if you get a lot of gigs and all that, that could be a lot too. It's like straining on your voice. You're talking a lot and your vocal cords are just continuously being worked and all that. I think that's a lot of work for your vocal cords. Not that saying that voice acting is overall a stressful job. I don't know, it could be. I don't know how stressful voice acting could be. But, okay. Alright, I'm getting lost in the sauce somewhere, but if I didn't get to talk about exactly what I wanted to say, then I'll just write in the description. Goodness gracious. As the performance nears, Otome finally succumbs to her lack of sleep and trips down the stairs and sprains her ankle. So this means that she is unable to perform anymore and that we are going to have to call this off. However, Otome wants to perform because, as she says, my fans are out there waiting for me. I cannot disappoint them, right? They have come all the way here. And I don't want to send them back empty-handed, right? I want to be up there and perform at the very least. But as I mentioned before, I don't think your fans came all the way out here to see you fucking trip and fall on the stage and get hurt. Alright? I don't think that's what they want for you. And so, not wanting to disappoint Otome's fans, Sato and Watanabe decide to perform the song without Otome, right? Otome did go out, you know, to greet them and all that, and she's just like, yeah, sorry, but I'm not performing. Oh, check out that sprained ankle. See you later. Anyways, as I was saying, you know what this reminds me of? That's right, IRUMA. The series, I mean, this is not IRUMA, this is an idol, so I will say, IRUMA is like The Simpsons to me, where something happens, and then I'll be like, yeah, that reminds me of IRUMA. It's because like, IRUMA is like at 25 volumes right now, which, you know, is a lot. But like, a lot of stuff has happened in IRUMA, cliche or not. And because of that, again, it feels like The Simpsons, where like The Simpsons has gone on for so long. That being said, I'm not saying that IRUMA is like The Simpsons, because they are very different things, and also The Simpsons has been running for years and years. Not saying that IRUMA hasn't also run years and years, but it's not as long as The Simpsons, right? But The Simpsons has already done everything, so like if you watch through The Simpsons a lot and you watch other shows or something, you're gonna be like, oh, The Simpsons did that. That's me, but with IRUMA. My brain has just been overtaken. After the performance, Sato and Watanabe talk about how bad of a performance that they did, or something. But also, I think it was Sato who's just like, you know, it's nice that they're having the time of their life and passionate and all that, but I still feel like they're gonna be disappointed because, well, they came here for Otome, but they didn't get Otome, right? That's not this. They came here, but this is not what they wanted. But in the end, they were entertained by all of this, right? They didn't fucking boo you off the stage. They were still pretty fucking hype. And like, yeah, it sucks that they didn't get their idol and all that, but you know, they should understand that fucking life happens, and they shouldn't force their idols to fucking dance for them if she has a sprained ankle. I like that Sato here makes a declaration that she is going to improve on herself, she's going to get better, and in fact, she's going to outshine Otome, and I like that she brings Watanabe into that as well, right? Both you and me, we are going to outshine Otome. We are 2v1ing her in this fucking recording studio. By the end of this episode, it seems that Watanabe and Sato have agreed to improve on themselves and whatnot, and that they're going to continue to do it together. Good for them. And also, you know, they're gonna be the fucking bickering couple who are just together with each other all the time, but like, don't you guys hate each other or something? Why are you guys hanging out with one another all the time? So again, I really like this episode. I thought it was good. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. Nothing much else for me to say. If I feel like I haven't rambled long enough, there's also only 1% left on this battery, so like, my god, dude, I'm really I'm really running out of time here. But if I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.